Welcome to Secrets to Alignment with Savannah Schaefer. I am here to equip you with the belief and energy to make your dreams a reality. Take this time to fill your cup and align with the most vibrant version of you. Welcome back to the Secrets to Alignment podcast with your host, Savannah Schaefer. I am so grateful to be here actually sitting in front of my camera. I feel like I haven't actually sat like face to face with you guys in a minute, so I'm very excited to just be here and to pour into all of you. Thank you guys so much for all of the feedback that I've been getting on the last couple podcast episodes that I have shared. I shared a really touching, vulnerable story in the patience and perseverance episode that I shared just last week. And the feedback that I've got from you guys has been so touching. I'm so grateful that I've created this space and I've been able to just kind of open up and be very vulnerable with you guys. I shared a story that's very, very close to my heart, and I just know that so many of you guys resonated with it and just felt very connected and just understand me better now as well. So that was super, super cool. Today's episode is for the people who want to be feeling good all the fucking time. Like, I'm talking to the girl who's like, I go through maybe these ups and downs. Maybe you're getting really, really motivated and then you start to pull back. Maybe you have those moments where you're just noticing that your emotions are a little bit out of control. This episode is for the type of person who wants to feel fucking amazing. This is how I feel amazing 99% of the time, maybe 98% of the time. I feel like majority of days, majority of moments in general, I actually feel really, really good. And the key to feeling really good is having boundaries. Having boundaries within our lives are so, so important. And it's something that I have been very strict with for as far as I can even remember, to be honest. I've always had really strict boundaries with myself. And I think that it allows me to really show up the best that I possibly can in all moments because I prioritize these boundaries. So I wanted to break down a few of the boundaries that are very, very important in my life to hopefully inspire you to advocate for yourself so that you can continue feeling your best every single day. In this podcast episode, we are going to get into having time for yourself, saying no to others, having routines and boundaries around sticking to those routines, and of course, having boundaries with people who are around you as well. So first and foremost, I feel like something that all of us need more of is alone time. Now, every single one of us maybe have a different amount of alone time that we personally need. Maybe it's one day out of the entire month. Maybe it's multiple days out of the entire month. Maybe you feel right now that you don't really need that much alone time, and that's perfectly fine as well. But I will say that having alone time can truly support your well-being more than you even when you're constantly with your partner or with friends or with family or your coworkers or whatever. It can be really, really challenging to even separate your own identity, to separate your own belief systems from the people around you. It can be hard not to take on other people's opinions as your own. It can be hard to just have moments by yourself. It can be hard to be in your own thought process or be thinking about something and then someone else says something to you and now you're completely going down a different train track or a different rabbit trail. There are so many times in our lives when we are just surrounded by so many people and we go weeks, we go months on end without even taking a moment for ourselves. And this is something that I've been so intentional for so long. Even when I was living at my parents' house, I remember that my alone time is very sacred to me. And I really love my time to just like sit with myself, to journal, or to go for a drive on my own, or to go to yoga, or go for a hike, go for a walk. Like, just doing things alone can truly support you so much. It allows you to actually connect internally with you. When you disconnect from the people around you, you can really connect with yourself and your internal world. And I'm not saying that every single time that you have alone time, you need to like sit there with a journal or like meditate or whatever. Those things are absolutely supportive. But what I am saying is that take time for fucking you. Like, take time to go to your favorite coffee shop by yourself. Take time to take yourself out to dinner. I used to love, when I lived by myself, I used to take myself out to sushi every single Friday. Every single Friday, that was like my one treat to myself. And I loved doing this so, so much. I know that a lot of people can feel like that's something that's really, really hard to like go anywhere by themselves or go sit at a restaurant alone at the bar or whatever. But actually becoming your best friend, actually being that person for yourself is so helpful, because then you're not relying on anyone else to do those things for you. How amazing is it to just be your own fucking best friend, to be your own person, to be your own individual self, so that you can feel your best, look your best, play your own fucking music, eat your own food. Like, you get to make all the decisions. It's actually so wonderful. I personally love my alone time. I honestly think that that's why the universe put me with a fireman, because I get a lot of alone time and I'm actually deeply appreciative of that. I've been in other relationships before where I haven't had that, and like my partner has wanted to be like almost on top of me all the time and like very dependent on me, and that was just a turn off completely. This is obviously my own experience, so I don't know what it is for you, but I want you to actually check in with yourself. Like, maybe just take a moment, pause this episode, and just ask yourself, how much alone time do I actually need? And if it's not a lot, that's totally fine, but at least give yourself something, whether it's you treating yourself out to a dinner, whether that's you getting your nails done, whether that's you just like having some time to watch your own shows, whatever that you need, start to advocate for that and start to take that for yourself. You are going to thank yourself over and over and over again. A lot of times when we're surrounded by people constantly, we almost get to know people around us more than we even know ourselves. And I think that this can be a very slippery slope, because then you start to almost lose yourself. This is why we hear a lot of women, even after like having a baby or when they get into a relationship, we hear women saying that they lost a piece of themselves. And that to me is like, I am so protective of myself and who I am, and I never want to allow anyone to take any bits of me. So I think that even if you're in a new relationship, if you've been in a relationship for years and years and you want to start implementing this, whatever, doesn't matter where you're at, but having alone time, even if it feels hard to separate from that person that you're so obsessed with, please do this for yourself. I promise you, it's going to set you up for so much success in the future. My next one is stop saying yes to everything. Stop putting everyone else's things on your calendar. Stop allowing everyone to ask you for your time, for your energy, all the time. You need to stop saying yes to everyone. Start saying no to people and start saying yes to yourself. You are going to be so much better off when you are not doing things from obligation. That is like the worst place to do anything from, is from obligation. If you feel obligated to go to that specific dinner or to see those kinds of people or whatever, don't stop doing that. You should not be crossing that line within yourself where you're doing things that are not in alignment with who you are or what makes you feel good. You should absolutely respect yourself more, respect your time and your energy more, and decide to say no more often. This is going to allow you to be so much happier, and also it's going to support everyone else around you as well, because they're not going to be getting the leftovers of you. They're actually going to be getting the best version of you the next time that they see you, because your cup is actually filled and it's not running on empty, and then you're going off to like go hang out with them. This has been such a big game changer for myself. I've had boundaries around my family time, around my friend time, around even time with Ty, because I want to make sure that I am showing up my absolute best. And if for one night, instead of watching TV, I'd rather go like read or journal or do something for myself, because that's what's going to make me feel good, I have to prioritize that. And what's cool is that the more that you choose yourself, the more that people actually understand and respect why you're doing it. And if they don't, a lot of times they don't understand it at first. That's the challenge here, is that a lot of times people are going to push back a little bit. They're not going to understand why you need your alone time. They're not going to get it. And that's perfectly fine. Eventually, one day in their life, they are going to understand it. And if they don't, that's perfectly fine too. But typically, you do eventually understand that your alone time is very, very valuable. I'm telling you this right now. So just know that if you need to say no to more people, be okay with that and know that you're saying yes to yourself. And at the end of the day, that is what's most important, is the way that you are showing up for you, because then you get to pour into everyone else around you with ease, with so much more energy, with so much more positivity, and just your cup overflowing that you're able to just give it away so nicely to everybody. But if you're continuously giving this like watered down, if you're continuously giving this version of you that's just a fraction of who you are, they're never going to get the best of you. And that's not cool for anybody in this equation. A perfect example of this is once I moved out of my parents' house, I actually set boundaries with them of only seeing them one time a week, when before I was seeing them 7 days a week because I was living with them, obviously. But once I moved out, I set this boundary with them and I said, I am so excited to see you guys. I cannot wait to see you all, but I'm gonna see you guys on Friday or Saturday nights. And that was my time that I always dedicated to them. It was always one of my weekend days I would dedicate to my family. And this is something that I had to put into place for myself, because if I didn't do that during that time period, I would have been only really going for obligation. I would have only been going just to please them, to make them happy. And I do remember in the beginning, they used to make me feel so guilty. At least they would try. They'd try their absolute hardest to be like, you're leaving already, or you never come around. Like, they always used to say things to me, but now they just understand that this is who I am and this is what I need for myself. And every single time that they're around me, they really do get the best version of me. They get like the happiest, most loving, most kind and courageous version of myself, because I have those boundaries in place and because I'm not doing it just to please them. So just take what you will from this and start to say no more frequently and start saying yes to yourself, because you will thank yourself. Now, something else that I have a lot of boundaries around is my routines. My routines, I am very, very strict about my schedule. This schedule is what has me feeling my absolute best. The reason I'm so strict is because I feel on top of the world when I follow this kind of schedule. So first off, I always have a consistent wake up time and a consistent bedtime. So in the mornings, I wake up at 6 a.m. and at night, I always go to sleep by 9 o'clock. This makes me feel my best. It makes me feel well rested. If I have an extra hour to sleep in on the weekends, awesome. But I'm typically not even craving that because I've been so consistent with the schedule. And I know that a lot of people will be like, yeah, that's because you have a baby and whatever. Actually, before I had Aria, I was very strict with my routines as well, because it made me feel my best. When I was living in my apartment on my own, and also when I lived with Ty and we didn't have a baby, I was very, very strict with these things because I know that when I stick to them, I just feel my best. When I'm constantly all over the place with where I'm waking up and when I'm going to sleep, I just don't feel my best. And I also love to have a lot of time during the day. I'm a morning person. It's taken me a long time to get to that point. Ever since I moved out of my parents and the last couple years that I lived with my parents, I was a morning person. But before that, when I was growing up, my dad, he would make us stay in our room for 10 hours. I remember going to sleep, we'd go to sleep at 12 and then we had to stay asleep until 10 a.m. That was just, you could not come out of your room before that. If we went to sleep at 11, we were going to be waking up by 9 o'clock. And my dad always had these really strict boundaries. I know now that he just wanted his own sleep, which is totally fine. But what I realized is that growing up having that, my parents would just stay up really, really late and we'd wake up really late. We would waste half of our day sleeping. And throughout high school, I was the exact same way. There was days where I was sleeping so much of the day away. Once I started my business, I think that's when everything really shifted for me. I started my business my senior year of high school. And once I got into that and started listening to personal development and all these different things, I really shifted the way that I did things, because I was like, I need more time in the day. I need more time to listen to a podcast. I need more time to talk to more clients. I need more time to nourish my team, and all these different things were kind of coming into play. So having a strict wake up and bedtime, I think, helps so much. So pick those hours for yourself and then stick to it. And it might be hard in the beginning, but once you finally do it for a couple weeks on end, it's going to get a lot easier, I promise you. Now, something else that I have a lot of boundaries around is social media. I have multiple different boundaries around social media. Number one, I never ever scroll in the mornings or at night. that is like something that I'm very, very intentional about. I do not scroll if I am in bed. If I'm in bed, I am not on any social media whatsoever. And I typically don't like lay in bed even to just chill or anything. So when I am in bed, like that is my sacred space. That is the time and space that I make for myself where I'm not consuming other people's lives. That is why I'm so intentional about it, because it is so easy to be like laying there in bed watching all these different people on social media popping off in their business or popping off in their career, traveling the world, all these different things. And now instantly in your head, you're like, I'm behind. I'm not good enough. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not this. I'm not that. And you're just literally talking so negatively to yourself based on what you saw on social media. So this is something that I've been very intentional about, is I never ever get up and scroll. I typically don't even check like my messages or anything in the morning either, because that time before you go to sleep and as soon as you wake up is actually so impressionable for your mind, specifically your subconscious mind. And if you are waking up and you're instantly seeing like news or something that happened in your city or something on social media that's like actually not positive, and it can be really negative sometimes, that can affect you so much more than you even think. Not even just in that moment, but then it carries on throughout the day, throughout random times, and it actually leaves impressions on your mind. So be very, very intentional about what you're consuming before you go to sleep and when you wake up in the morning. That's helped me so, so much. I also have timers on every single one of my social media apps. So I'm not somebody who typically scrolls too much, but in the past I absolutely have been. And since I work from social media, that's super easy for me to get into that habit of just like literally sitting there consuming everyone else's lives. It's so easy for me. But this is something that I've had to put a lot of boundaries around, because I don't want to waste my time like literally just scrolling on my phone. Like I think that having Arya really showed me how much I was doing it, and I really wanted to be so much more intentional about it. Also just being in a relationship with Ty too, because he has no social media, which is such a blessing because he's never on it or anything. So if I were you, I'd really start to either put some timers on social media. I have like 15 minutes on TikTok a day, and then I have 2 hours on Instagram, because obviously I work from Instagram. But if I didn't work from Instagram, I would make like 30 minutes a day, maybe. Oh gosh, what a dream it would be to like not have to do that. It would be honestly a dream to just be off social media completely, but this is how I run my business and my income and all the things, which I really do enjoy, so it's fine. But I definitely would, like, honestly, if I wasn't in this whole like world of building a business through social media, I probably would not be nearly as active on it whatsoever. And I just want to encourage that within you, of like, have boundaries around these things. Like, please do not allow your social media, your phone in general, to run your fucking life. Like, I notice even for myself, there's times where I literally am just picking up my phone just to pick up my phone, like for no intentional reason. Or I'm driving in the car and I'm like flipping through stories and I'm like, Savannah, what are you doing right now? Like, that is not a healthy relationship. I also even notice if I have moments where I'm not feeling like myself and then I go on social media just to distract myself, like, that is not a good relationship with these phones that we have. So just check in with yourself a little bit here and just see, is there any places that you need to have more boundaries around social media? Because I have a lot now, and I am literally the best version of myself because of that. I also do not go on social media at all on the weekend. That has been such a game changer for me. Truly, this has helped me so much. I also turned off my notifications on Instagram as well. There was a weekend where I had done it, like on the weekend, I had like completely logged off of social media, and then I decided just to keep it that way forever. And that has been amazing for me too. I'm not just getting these messages or notifications constantly that makes me want to check it. Since they're turned off, I just only check it when I want to, when I'm doing it consciously. But obviously, like I said, I sometimes just want to distract myself, and I've absolutely been guilty of that. But that's something that I'm being very, very, very intentional about right now in this moment. But when I started taking the weekends off of social media, oh my gosh, what a big difference this made for me, especially as a business owner and somebody who runs their lives through social media, runs my business through social media. Having boundaries of work and life was so fucking needed for me, because I was just taking my work into every single day, every single hour with me, and it was becoming like all of me. It was taking over. It was encompassing every aspect of my life. And that is something that I've really had to be more intentional about. So every single weekend, I just now know not to go on the apps. I have my social media apps on a different page on like my home screen, on my app screen, so that it's out of the way and I actually have to consciously swipe to get to that page and to click into those apps. If you need to for the beginning, like you can just log out of the apps completely. That's what I used to do in the beginning, or I would just like delete the app or whatever. But I would just say that whatever that you need to do, if you notice that you have that like almost addiction with it and you're like, I am always on it and whatever, just check in with yourself and maybe choose to take that time down a couple notches. And I will say that as a mom, having Aria on a schedule and on a routine helps me so much. That was something that while I was pregnant, I was reading books on. I was reading books on how to get my baby on a schedule because I needed to know when I was going to have my alone time. I needed to know when I was going to get a break. I needed to know when we were going to be going to the gym and all these different things, when she's going to be eating, all of that. That was something that really supported me throughout the newborn stage, toddler stage, every single stage that she's been here. It's been very supportive keeping her on a schedule. And it's really cool because now she's on my schedule now. Like we go to the gym together. She goes to the grocery store with me. Like she does everything with me. And it's actually so nice for us to just be in a flow together rather than me almost not being able to do anything in my life because her schedule runs the show. Like that's exactly why I did this, because I didn't want her life to be running mine. I'm running our lives and we get to have a great life because of that, because I'm organized and because I'm set up for success. We're also very consistent when it comes to the gym. So I go to the gym every single week, the same days every single week. I take my rest days on Thursday and Sunday, and I know the rest of the 5 days I'm always going to be at the gym, and it's always at the exact same time. It's at 8 a.m. every single week. And this makes me feel so good. That consistency just makes me feel so good. It obviously makes me look really good because I'm staying in the gym. It just keeps me on track and keeps me feeling my absolute best. Honestly, the biggest thing that you should take from this is just start prioritizing feeling good. When you start prioritizing feeling good, you're going to start to prioritize your life in a totally different way. And I hope that this inspires you to do so. If there's anything that I said in this that you're like, oh my gosh, I need to implement this and that, anything, please share it with me. I love hearing what you guys actually take from these episodes. It makes me so excited just to have like conversations with you guys about what you're learning and growing and going throughout my podcast episodes. So thank you so much for being here. I hope that this was extremely helpful, and I cannot wait to see you as the best version of yourself.